Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Facebook Live. How are you? You see, I'm all bundled up today. It's cold in Chicago. I'm sick of the cold, y'all. It's still like, I'm in my car, it's like 35 degrees and the windshield is even colder. And, oh, what you gonna do? I don't care what people say. You don't get used to this. I don't care what they say. I am happy to talk about what I'm getting ready to talk about today. And for those of y'all that are new, it's Knowledge by Nikki with 1K. My website will be in full effect November 17th, guys. So it'll be all kind of good stuff up there. So you all make sure that you tune in to Knowledge by Nikki with 1K, or actually go online. I'm sorry, Knowledge by Nikki with 1K.com. And you'll see all the good stuff, all kind of stuff that I'm doing. I learned how to do my own website. I'm so proud of myself, guys, because it was just hard keeping up with people that were able to keep it up for me. So they were busy, and so we worked it out. So let me talk to you all a little bit today about my stretch members. I just want to give you all some praise. I have loved helping you all. We've only been now doing this for some since January, some since February. I have loved helping you all get it. You know, I learned things from you all. Every cycle of life and business, you know, you got new things you got to tackle and deal with. And so we're going to do this thing together, and I'm happy about that. But let me talk to you about how this message or this talk was inspired today. It was really inspired from two of my stretch members. Let's start off first. Let's start off by, if you work in corporate America, anybody that's looking at this that works in corporate America, if you ask anybody that's got what they call a regular or a real job, they could tell you to the penny what they make a month, what they make a year, what they make a week, what they make an hour. They can tell you that. They actually know what that is because someone already figured that out for them. Okay, so it's easy. They can say, okay, I make $22.61 an hour, or, you know, every other week, my paycheck minus the taxes. They actually have it itemized for them. It's listed actually how much they make minus taxes and, you know, whatever else they're taking out of their checks. And so it's already done for them. So they don't really have to figure it out. So it's easy for them to come up with an amount and say, I know in a month, whether they're on hourly, salary, whatever, this is what I make. But how many of us in the salon industry can also figure that out? How many of us can actually tell anybody, an accountant, me, talk to yourself, exactly how much money you make an hour, how much money you make a day, how much money you make a week, month, year, etc. Let me tell you what, I was so inspired, and I got to give big ups to Leah Love. Leah Love out of my stretch group. She sent me an email yesterday, and it took me back because I used to do seminars on this type of thing. So it took me back. And it took me back to, this is the question she asked me. She said, Nikki, I'm trying to redo my budget, and I'm trying to find out what should I be spending on products, how much is one client worth to me? How do I figure all of that out? So I was getting ready to email her back, but it was too much to email back. So I said, Leah, you took me back. Let me tell you how you do that. So I'm going to give you all a snippet, because you're going to have to come to my Salon Owners Conference if you want to hear how all this goes. I'm going to do a whole class on figuring out the numbers. So let's talk about first, how much is a client worth? I did tell her, I said, first of all, the only way you can figure out what a client is worth, you have to break clients into three categories. You have weekly clients, you have bi-weekly, and then you have randoms. Now you actually can break that into 4 areas, because you also can have random regulars. That means the people that they're coming, but they come every month, they come every 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, but they're gonna come. The other randoms are just your fly-by-nighters. That's what those are. So let's break it up into 4 categories. You got weeklies. This is barbers or stylists. You got weeklies. You got bi-weeklies. You have regular randoms. That's the ones, you know, I even have people that just get texturized in color. I may see them once a month, every 6 weeks, stuff like that. And then you have your randoms. You have to figure this out over a wider span of time, meaning usually at least 3 to 6 months is how you can do the math. Now, I did tell her, When you're already in business, you have to work backwards. It's hard. It's actually easier because you see exactly what you have. When you're starting a new business, which I'm going to talk about that too, you have to then kind of just estimate what it's going to be. But when you're in business already, this is what you do. You have to take a 3 to 6 month span, and you have to take the time and actually chronicle. Take one client. I'll use an example. I got several weekly clients, but if I got one client, they come every week. I know the first 3 weeks, all they get is shampoo and styles. That's it. So I know what a shampoo and style costs for them. That'd be $65 because they're weekly. Then if they get on that 4th week, if they actually get an edge up, I know I have to include that. The 4th week, they get an edge up. Then if we go 2 more weeks or 3 more weeks, I know they actually get a full relaxer. And on that full relaxer day, they also get maybe a color and a trim and whatever this is. So what I have done, and this is what you have to do to figure out what one client is worth for you, and I'm going to go into products in a minute, you have to create cycles for them. That means in a 10-week cycle, I know, and you have to tell them, like writing a prescription. Okay, you get this 1 week, you get this the 2nd week, you get this the 3rd week, this the 4th week, etc., etc., etc. Until you complete one whole cycle of all the things that they get, and then it starts over. So if you have a 10-week cycle of shampoo, 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 that's 65 times 3. I'm driving, so I can't do no math for y'all. 65 times 3, that's a weekly. Then I know she gets an edge up that next week. So then that's 105. So I got 65 times 3 plus 105. Then I have another scenario where now I have her where she's going 2 more weeks or 3 more weeks. That's 65 times 3 again. I got to add to that. Then by that 8th week or 9th week or whatever it is, I know she gets a full relaxer. A full relaxer with me is 165, not including whatever color she gets. So if she gets, that's 165 plus 50, that's 215. What else comes after that? Then she might get a trim. That's 215 plus 40, that's 255. So I got to add $65 6 times, 105 once, and 255 once. I add all that up. I know in 10 weeks, she's worth X amount of dollars to me, and all I have to do is figure out of 52 weeks, that's at least 5 cycles, multiply all that times 5. That lets me also know if for whatever reason we have to fall out, we have to have some disagreements, I know if I have to dismiss her from my salon, then it's going to cost me X amount of dollars. Already know that. Average weekly a person for me, average, that's the ones that just get regular stuff, is about $3,950. That's what they cost me. So I know if I want to up or give myself a raise, and I've already done a price increase, so I can't do that again, that means that I may even have to convert some bi-weeklies to weekly. Are y'all with me? Okay, this is how, now you do the same scenario with bi-weekly people. You have to sit down and take time and figure out and tell them. You have to control the cycles. Tell them you get this, give dates if you have to. Write them out a full 10-week prescription. This is what you get, so they know and you know what you should expect to get financially within that 10 weeks. That way you ain't guessing. Okay, now we know life happens and some stuff throws it off, but that's okay. That's you can figure that out. That's easy. We give or take a little. Okay? So this is how you figure out what a weekly person is worth to you. Same scenario with a bi-weekly person. A bi-weekly client, on average, is worth to me about $22,400 and some odd dollars. I got it all figured out. It's somewhere around $2,500. So I know if I lose a weekly person, for whatever reason, they decide to get braids, lost their job, whatever, I automatically know I have to figure out where am I going to make up this $3,950. Where am I going to actually make that up? I have to figure that out. that means I automatically know I gotta convert maybe 2 bi-weeklies into weekly customers. So when I'm talking to them, I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm going to convince them to get color because we need to do something different. I already know color is going to require more than bi-weekly maintenance. I literally will target people that I know can afford it. Ain't no need of you targeting and having that conversation with people you know can't afford it. You wasting your time and wasting your money or wasting your energy. So these are intentional things that I do in order to keep the financial a place where I am, because if I lose a customer that costs me almost or that brings me almost $4,000 a year, then that's equivalent to me being on a corporate job and getting a $4,000 pay deduction. I don't want to have that. So we have more control over what happens. Now this is a whole seminar I used to do on figuring out the numbers. Okay, so that's how you figure out what a client is worth to you. Now let me tell you how you figure out how much product they actually use per customer. I learned years ago, when I was really going to a lot of financial and economic classes and all that stuff, and I said, okay, how does Burger King or McDonald's figure out how much to charge for that hamburger? Do you know that they know how much the bun costs for that one burger? They know how much that half a piece of cheese costs. They know how much the burger costs, the mustard costs, the whatever. They have figured it out. Let me tell you how we do it in the salon. Okay, this is my Starbucks, right? When you first want to start figuring out how much product each person uses, each person will use on average of about 6 products. That's from shampoo all the way to finishing. So what you do, you all come on out to my salon owners conference. I'm going to teach you how to do this, okay? Hold on, I just have my marker in the car for y'all. Let me see if I can find it. All right, this is what I told Leah to do. She wants to know how much. Oh, really? You need a Sharpie to do this, y'all. I just had a Sharpie. I don't know. It's in the car somewhere. Okay. Starting a month. You need to do this. I told her to do it over a month, but you really need to do this over a longer span. When you want to start figuring out how much product each customer uses, this is what you have to do. Every product in your salon, don't change the way you use it. Use it like you always been using it. Don't change it because you want to see what you naturally do. Every time you use, let's say this is some shampoo. Every time you use some shampoo on one customer, I'm taking my pen and I put a mark on it. Y'all see that? Every time, a 32-ounce liter shampoo, I put a mark on it. You got to use the Sharpie or it'll rub off. I put marks on these cups. I do 1 mark, then I do 2 marks, then I do 3 marks, then I do 4 marks. Then you see that? Then I do the little thing where you kind of, do the slit. I know that means 5. I do this until that shampoo is gone. I do this with every product in the shop. Every single sprays, serums, I don't care where it is. If you got to put a label on it, if you can't write on the bottle, put a label on it. Make sure you use a Sharpie, something that won't fade. I do this with every single product. I've done this before, so I already know I do it now. I do this with every single product in the shop. So let's say this is shampoo. By the time I get through with this liter, I have about 35 marks on this liter. 35 marks. That means I take this liter and I say this liter costs me $39.26. I take that $39.26 and I divide it by however many marks, 32 marks, 36 marks, whatever it is on this cup. Once I do that, that tells me, once I get that could be 20 cents, 50 cents, 60 cents, $1, whatever it is, depending on what you pay. That tells me that the shampoo part of the average service costs me about 75 cents to $1. I'm just using that as an estimate per client. So every client absorbs at least 75 cents just in shampoo. Now I have to do this on every single product that I use in the shop. So if I got 6 products, and obviously some products cost more than others, that means by the time I get through figuring out how many people actually go through this shampoo or this aerosol spray or this spritz or this pomade, it will give me a good rough estimate on how much product a person uses in 6 products. 6 products, that means they only use $6 worth of product, which means that actually comes off of your profit margin. That is part of your gross profit, not your net profit. So I got to back out. If I did, my service was $200, but I got to back out the product. Then there's another way we do this with your expenses, okay? Of course, it's 30 minutes, y'all. I ain't got time to go through all of this. Y'all come see me at my Salon Owners Conference. I'm going to do this entire presentation for you. Give it up. Look, give big shouts up to Leah Love, who inspired me to go back and do this again. I haven't done this seminar in years, but I realize how much is needed because a lot of us have no idea how much what we're doing is costing us. We don't know what our net profit is. So I'm also going to be able to help you understand how much you make an hour. That means we have to take about a month or 2 month span. I already did that with the 3-month challenge. I'm going to be able to tell you how much you make an hour, how many clients on average you're doing per month, etc., etc., etc. Guys, salon owners, stylists, barbers, if you really want to start making your money grow, if you really want to start doing things in a way that it makes sense, you have to know what these numbers are so you know when things are not working. How many of us have made tons of money? I mean, I've made so much money. I made stupid money. And there were times when I'm like, where is it? Where is all this money I made? Because I don't see it. I don't see it. I done made well up into 6 figures and I'm still robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's because I don't know what the bottom line is. I don't know how to fix it. If I lose a client through whatever, I know now, but I didn't know how do I change this? How do I add to so I don't feel the loss? If I have to fire someone, if I have to let someone go. I had this conversation with a stretch member also. If you got to let somebody go, first thing I asked her was, how much does she bring to you? How much does she bring to your business? I said, okay, before you let her go, if that's what you decide to do, if she brings X amount of dollars to you per month, per week, per year, then you need to figure out how are you going to replace those dollars? Because I don't want you to be a hostage to her money. I don't want you to be a hostage because you can't figure out how to replace those dollars and now you just feel like you got to keep her. I don't ever want us to be a hostage to a person like that. So what are we going to do? That means in the scheme of things, you got to figure out, but you got to know what the numbers are. What do I need to do to replace the amount of money that I potentially lost? You can, if you have products and you find that you're paying over $1 or $2 per customer to use a certain product, that simply means that that product is probably too expensive. And as much as I know you like it, I need you to like something else. That's what that means. There are too many products out there for us to just be stuck on the fact, but I like this. No, like something else. Like something that is better for your bottom line. You really, unless you're doing like really high-end services, I know a lot of hair restoration services and things like that, the products are just costly. So there's going to be some costly things that you have no way around cutting the cost. And this is 2 things. You either have to lower the cost of your products. If you find that it's over $1 per item you use, and that means you're going to have to buy in larger quantities so you can get a better discount for the products, or you're going to have to go up on your prices. It's just that simple. You're going to have to buy bigger, buy cheaper, or elevate your prices. Period. End of story. That's what you got to do. But in order for you to know where to go, you got to know what the products are costing you. You got to know whether the client margin, service margin is what it needs to be. These are just some of the things that I want to teach you in regards to being able to know how much a client is worth and how much the products are worth. Are y'all with me? This is really important, and very few salon owners, salon workers, very few of us really know what our real bottom line is. I don't know how many of you all watch The Prophet. I love The Prophet. I like him even better than Shark Tank. When I watch The Prophet, And I watch him go into places. My first memory comes to when he went into a cupcake studio, and he was helping this guy's young black guy, him and his wife. He was helping them figure out how to evolve and do better in his cupcake studio. First question he asked that guy is, how much does it cost for you to make each one of those cupcakes? Clearly the guy didn't know, because he was rambling, trying to figure out, I think $2.33. He knew he didn't really know. I'm talking about from the wrapper, to the sprinkles, to the icing, to the butter that goes into a whole pan of cupcakes. You have got to know how much your cost of goods and services are costing you. You have got to know what that is. If you don't know what that is, you don't even realize that, yeah, you may be making what you think is great money off of servicing, but you don't know what you're making until the smoke clears. Until you back out what you had to spend for your lights, your gas, the rental of your chair, an assistant, for every time you got to get towels washed, for everything you got to use, for if you're getting it delivered, for the shipping fees, until you are able to figure out all of those fees. And the only way those fees can be figured out is you got to track them on a daily, weekly, bi-monthly, monthly, yearly basis. You got to track those expenses. That means, for those of you all that are hearing me, if you haven't done it, you got to come to the conference. So I have no other seminar before the conference that's going to teach you this. So Camelia, put my number up for the conferences. You can, as designated text line, you got to be able to figure out these numbers, or I'm telling you, you could be making $1 million and be spending out $900,000 and you still just as broke as the rest of us. All right. So you have got to know what these numbers look like. It is absolutely essential. My designated text line is 708-798-7900. My girls in Stretch have inspired me to go back and do a whole seminar. I used to do these all the time. I haven't done them in a while, but they let me know it's a need for them. So you come out to the conference. I will be teaching this. We're going to have products that we're going to do it like preschool do it. We're going to break it down product by product, customer by customer. I'm going to give you a way to figure out cycles. I'm going to make sure you know how much you make an hour. I am going to be able to make sure that you have all that information so you know whether you need to change products, whether you need to buy them bigger, whether you need to change your prices. How do you know what to fix if you don't know what's broke? You don't even know what's broken, so you have no idea on where to fix it. And sometimes, guys, just going up on prices is not enough. You also have to lower overhead. You have to lower costs of products. There are so many things, and this is my fear, guys, why I'm so passionate about this, is that we as salon owners, salon workers, booth renters, commission, barbershop owners, I don't care what place in the industry you are, we make a lot of money through our careers. We make a ton of money. And too many of us are in this game 40 years later, and not by choice, because we are still flat, busted, broke. We have nothing. We have no insurance. We have all of this stuff gonna be talked about at the conference. We ain't invested in no real estate. We don't have no insurance. We don't have any time. We ain't got no money coming from nowhere other than what these feeble bodies can exert to produce. It's not going to work. At a point, you are going to get to where you cannot stand up behind a chair for 10 hours a day, 12, 14, 17. But in order to know how to create an exit strategy at our conference, we're going to teach you that. You got to have an exit strategy. We're going to sit down and walk with you how to do a simple business plan. You ain't got to do no complicated business plans. I and the people that I have contracted to be there, which are amazing, we are going to make sure by the time you leave this conference, you get it. Now, what you do with it, as the old adage goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. But you will never, ever be able to honestly say that you ain't never get this information. Come out to see me at the conference. This is where I'm already half full. Actually, 2 over half full. So once it gets full, I'm done, guys. I'm done. The conference is $1,000. Got room. If you want a private room, then you just basically just say, I want a private room. It costs you extra $75. I got a payment plan right now. It don't get no sweeter. $33 for 30 weeks. $33 for 30 weeks. Come on now. I spend that on lunch. Because I'm going to eat what I want to eat. If I want to eat Red Lobster for lunch, that's what I'm going to eat. I spend that on lunch, guys. $33. That's a week for 30 weeks. And if you want your private room because it's a shared room, then you just extra $75. You have your own room. Come out to the conference. You do have to pay for your own air, but I feed you breakfast and lunch, guys. It don't get no better than that. This is the kind of stuff you learn at a conference that will, and I kept it small. I could have went bigger. I kept it small because I wanted to be able, this first run out, give everybody the individual attention that they need, because y'all come and y'all just lay it out. Y'all have stories and I'm like, oh Lord Jesus, we really got to work with this one. So I left it smaller for that reason. I was half sold February 1st. So let's get the rest of these tickets going, guys. Look, all you got to do is get there. I got it where it's at the Midway, Chicago Hyatt place. You get off the plane, get on the bus, go right to the hotel, get off, and that's it. You ain't got to do nothing else. All that's included. It's a wonderful hotel, guys, in a wonderful area. They got Starbucks, high-end restaurants, whatever you want to do. It's basically in the mall. So whatever you want to do, after hours, you can go to the mall, you can go to movies, you can do whatever. You can Uber. I believe the shuttle even takes you within a 5-mile radius. Everything is within a 5-mile radius. These are the kind of things I want you all to make the investment into something that builds your business instead of only, I didn't say not do it, instead of only investing in cutting, coloring, weaving, all of that. All that's great. But unless you plan on slaving for the rest of your life, that is not going to build your business, because you're going to want to do less. So all these classes that you're only paying for, where you learning how to do all this service stuff, when you want to do less, how is that going to help you? Unless you're going to train everybody else to do it. But then you still got to know what to do on the business end when you step back. So I am just pleading with you all to start learning something about your business, and not only about how to service customers. These are the type of things I'm going to be teaching, how to be more product conscious. I'll be able to tell you right off the bat, okay, you need to get, if you like this spray, you're going to have to get a spray that's maybe $2 a bottle cheaper. You're going to have to look for a spray intentionally that's $2 a bottle cheaper, so that you can spend less money using this product on your clients. Or you might be overusing product. You're going to have to use less product because you using too much product. That's why you only got 5 marks on a whole 8-ounce bottle. That means you're using too much product. That's what that means. So these are the things that I want us to be able to get. You all come on out, my stretch babies. They're already coming to the conference. Then I got several other ones. My website will be fully functional on the 17th. You'll also be able to go on knowledgebynikki.com with 1K. And you'll be able to also go on there, and you'll be able to, do whatever. Do weekly payments, do whatever it is pretty much you want to do. This is something that's really, really important. And I need you all to definitely look into this, guys. I need you all to do this. This is very, very important. So I am here at my destination. I'm actually having breakfast with a friend of mine. And guys, we got to know the numbers. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care if you're making $1 million, like I said, a year. If you are only seeing 900 or seeing 50,000 of that million, then you're still considered broke. Okay? We got to know what the bottom line is. You got to know how much clients are worth to you. Do I need to maybe add more clients? If you find that you don't have enough weeklies and they're not adding up enough, then maybe you need to do a special where you can draft some more weeklies. For people that make weekly standings, I have this special going on. You have to commit. Let me tell you what I also do. I used to do a prepay and save program. That's also something you can do to encourage people. That means if I've already figured out a 10-week cycle for you, and I know that 10-week cycle may be, say, about $1,000 or somewhere around that, I also offer you installment payments. That means so you can pay the same thing every time you come. Now, this is contractual. You got to do it based off of a contract. I allow you, and it comes directly off your card. If it's $1,000 and you come every week in 10 weeks, that means every week we draft $100 from your account. Now that's not prepay and save. That's just installments. But I have it every week. It's already in the system. You don't have to bring your card. You don't have to do nothing. And it also allows you to pay the same amount of money every time you come. So it's not $65 here and $250 there. And it's the same thing every time you come. That's something else that we also offer. And then if you talk about prepay and save, I've had clients, especially when they get their income taxes, it happens regularly. They'll say, look, let me pay up for 6 months and I'll give them some type of discount. They'll pay. I had one that wanted to pay up for the whole year. Fine. You want to give me $4,000 for the whole year? Beautiful. Let's do it. For that $4,000, I'll give you $100 off. I'll give you three shampoo and styles for free. Whatever. I had it set up all kind of ways. These are the ways that you keep your momentum going. You do business in a way where you keep working capital available for you. You know what your numbers are. This is how we got to do it, guys. Are y'all with me? All right, guys, what's my time? Because I'm actually meeting for breakfast. It is 8:27, so I am about to sign off. If anybody is interested in my conference where I personally will be talking to you and having seminars about the financial management side of your business, then text me. Go designated text line 708-798-7900. Or you can actually go onto my website after the 17th. So it'll be up, I think 16th is Friday. It'll be up actually Sunday. So Sunday, when y'all not working, y'all could go on knowledgebynikki with 1K.com. It'll be up, alive, and well. These are the things that I want to see more of my salon owners invest in. I don't want to keep going to shows when I'm not working or when I'm just in between my classes and I go sit in business classes, and I want to see more people who look like me in those classes, learning about these businesses. That's what I would love to see, guys. All of y'all in the weaving, cutting, and don't, hey, I ain't tripping now because I teach color too. All I'm saying is that cannot be the only thing that you do. Take time, put some of these business classes in your roster, okay? Go to those too. Because at the end of the day, I don't care how well everybody in there does hair. If you don't do good business, you're not going to sustain. Period. If you don't know what the numbers are, then something is going to get behind, and then you're not even going to have a clue why, and then business will start to digress. So this is important, guys. Hit me up, 708-798-7900 if you're interested in anything that I'm talking about. If you want to come out to the conference is November 4th and 5th. You got plenty of time. At the end of the year in Chicago, at the Hyatt Place at Chicago Midway Airport, it is $9.99. Everything, hotel is included, your lunch and your breakfast. All you have to do is get yourself there from the airport to the shuttle to the hotel and back. It's at a wonderful hotel park in the mall with all the stuff. If you want a private room, you just pay $75 more. I promise you, if I was about 6 shades lighter, what we are offering you at this conference, everything, booth rental programs, wholesaling programs, staffing, how to staff, how to hire, how to fire, building business credit. We are offering you everything. And I promise you, if I was about 6 or 7 shades lighter, what I was getting ready to say, it would be 5 times this, and you would have to get your own hotel. Okay? So take advantage of this while it's still reasonable. It's still affordable. Yeah, even some of the stylists that brand new have actually went into this, and they're now just doing their $33 for 30 weeks. You won't even feel it. You won't even see it. Obviously, if you want your extra room, your private room, then you just pay for that. That's $75 extra. All right? So I'm getting ready to sign off, you all. I hope you all got something out of this Facebook Live. That is Knowledge by Nikki with 1K. Peace out, and I'll see you tomorrow.